Greetings. Let me get my little takeout thing out the way. This is how it's taking up the camera. Anywho, greetings, you guys. So I'm going to do another general guidance reading. Okay. All right. So what's going on? What's going on? Okay. I don't feel like this is a part of the major message because I heard a message. Sometimes I will hear the title of the video. I'll hear like the type of message it's going to be. And the message that was given to me is when you're anointed, you can't just date anybody because you are not somebody. I'm not just anybody. I'm not just anybody. I don't know. That's not how it goes, but y'all know. Are you that somebody? So I'm getting from this is like a completely different message aside from it. So I'm going to go ahead and just get right into this real quick and then put back in the deck, shuffle. So 2 of Wands, 6 of Swords, Tower, and the 8 of Pentacles. Clearly with this, I feel like for some of you guys, you've moved on from something or somebody. And I feel like this person, mainly the reason why you moved away from something or someone on a romantic level is because this person was not putting in the proper amount of work or effort, which is why you've removed yourself from this. This person was not putting in the work to keep this connection or this relationship going. For some of you, this is someone you had a child with. And I feel like you're moving on past this person. Especially and specifically, I feel strongly a masculine energy moved away from somebody, that they've decided to distance themselves and move on away from this person because it was toxic. Okay. And it might have come out of nowhere for both of them. It wasn't something that was planned. It was kind of like someone was soul searching and knew that it was time for them to leave this connection behind, and something happened that naturally just caused the two to separate. But for some of you, it was like this person, you got tired of waiting for this person. If you're asking about a masculine or male, you maybe have gotten tired of waiting on this person to come towards you or make a decision, especially if there's distance here. You decided that this isn't for you. Maybe you had a wake-up call, maybe some type of divine revelation. Okay, so maybe it is a little bit slightly a part of the message. Let's see, Holy Spirit, the message. I pray for divine wisdom, divine counsel, and understanding that comes with it. And those who are watching, may they receive divine wisdom, truth, and clarity, and peace that comes along with it, God. Your truth. I cast down vain and false imaginations, false prophecies. Okay, we know when we're anointed, we can't just date anybody. What is your message? Why did you give that to me? Whoa. Knight of Pentacles. Spirit is saying to be patient. Wait for love. Wait for love by Luther Vandross. Yeah, wait for love. I feel like there's this cup that's coming to you. It's not far. And some of you guys might be feeling a little bit anxious when it comes to your love life. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, I feel like you're aware of counterfeit energies. You're aware. Of course, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, some trauma in the past. Okay, so it's kind of like, and the Queen of Swords is here in reverse. I feel like you guys have wisened up. You know now how to discern maybe counterfeits, or you're okay if something doesn't work out, because you know now that when it doesn't work out, it's a blessing. It is your protection when something does not work out. Because some of you guys may have recently gotten ghosted by someone, or you just got this awareness of why certain things did not work out in the past, because you know that there's only one cup like this, and you can't force it to be. You can't force people to, they might come close to this cup, but they're not quite it. You notice how this cup is its own. It looks nothing like these cups here. Even this mysterious cup, you might be curious about things, but Spirit is saying deep down inside, you know that this one cup, it cannot be duplicated. It cannot be marketed to fit. It's already made and tailored just for you. So if someone comes along that is not fitting to the essence of your cup, what you know that cup is, and essentially what that is your person, your one. This is a divinely blessed union. someone comes in and they might have certain qualities of that cup or a type of energy or essence or vibe about it, but it's something that's missing, something that's lacking from it. You know deep down inside, you don't even fight it anymore. Maybe in the past when you were wounded in a certain level, or you had a certain level of trauma or a certain level of insecurities where you try to duplicate that cup. You like, I know this isn't it, in a sense, or I want it to be it so bad, I'll try to fix it, let me go ahead and shine it down and make it more shinier. Let me wash it. Let me maybe put it in a different setting, and maybe that will make it look better or feel better or look like the real deal. But it's like, you're done doing that now. If it ain't it, it ain't it, and you let it go. You have that wisdom now. It was a message that I picked up from a reading last night, and I didn't post it because I wasn't sure if I should, because I feel like it's kind of like, the message was like, I had a cutting knife and I put a cutting knife to a leather couch, and it was like, I just ripped it open, and all the fluff was just like, the fluff was coming out because it needed to, you know what I mean? It was one of those messages, and I'm just like, I ain't sure if I should do this, but if I'm divinely led to hit public, I will. But if not, I'm gonna marinate on it a little bit. I don't know, because the message, the way that I was being guided to share the message, or the example of what it's like when we settle for less than what we deserve, is like, you go into your kitchen, right? And I'm talking to my foodies out there, people that like seasonings and cooking and all that. I always have like examples for food. You guys probably know by now. Maybe some of you don't. But you go into a cabinet, right? And you have an off-brand version of a seasoning. And then you have, maybe potentially you actually do have the name brand of that seasoning. The popular brand. And it's a little more expensive, because the store brands, they might be like $1 or $2 or so, and then the real ones is like $3 to probably up $3 and up sometimes. So you go in your kitchen, you open, you're like, okay, I want that seasoning because I need to use that seasoning, but instead you might see the one that's the off brand, right? And that might have been what you could afford at the time, or as a child you were never used to being able to use the actual brand, so you guys only could afford the off brand. So instead of saying, oh well, now I can afford that, or it's actually in my shelf, or it's in my kitchen, I'm gonna opt for the one that I'm most used to, right? Which is like partnerships and connections. You'll settle for that because you feel like, okay, yeah, it still gives me what I need in a sense. It still tastes like, or I don't even know what the real brand really tastes like because I couldn't afford it back then. But you have the ability now to have that and taste it. But it's like you've become and grown comfortable with the taste, or just settling for that off-brand. And it's almost like you're denying yourself of that experience of trying the real deal, either because you feel like you can't afford it. Let's say you still can't afford it, or you think that you can't, or you just decide, I can't afford it, but because it's not in my kitchen, what do I need it for anyway? I can continue to keep buying this kind. It's like settling for something because it almost is like the real deal. But there's that subconscious part of yourself is not only because of comfortability, but it's also because of insecurity, and saying to yourself, well, maybe I really don't deserve higher. Maybe because this is what I'm used to. This is what I've grown accustomed to experiencing. No. When you've been called to something higher and greater, you'll start to fall, especially when you start to align to that calling, that thing that God's called you to, or who you've been called to be in God, your vision, your calling and purpose, who you've been called to be in this life. When you wake up to that purpose, you'll start to find that you can't just mix and mingle with everybody, not just dating necessarily, but you don't resonate with everybody, and everybody doesn't resonate with you. You can't do the same things that you once did. You're called to a higher standard now, meaning you have a higher level of responsibility that you have to adhere to. So let's say, for instance, you used to date guys, I was in the streets and all of that. Like, it was okay at the time when you didn't know nothing about yourself, or you didn't have that tight-knit bond or that close bond with the Most High and your spiritual team. You didn't know your spiritual abilities and gifts to that degree, or if at all. So you were able to mix and mingle in the lower vibrational energies and connections. Now that you've grown higher, you won't be able to vibe with those same people anymore. If anything, you'll be more of like a teacher to these people, or more like some type of guide or a healer in a sense, but you'll find that they're more of an assignment than they are someone that you're really meant to be yoked with, right? You just don't vibe. Same thing with old friends, right? The people that you used to kick it with, go out with, go to the club with, you'll find that you really don't have anything in common anymore. You don't have anything to talk about. You know, they might even be a little bit intimidated by you now, because they feel like, oh, here, this heifer over here, she thinks she high and mighty, or oh, this dude, he think he better than us now. Oh, he, you know, Muhammad now, look at him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when people turn to their purposes and callings, or they want to dive deep into their spirituality and their gifts and things like that, certain people around them might take that as, oh, they think that they're better, right? So you're not able to just vibe with everybody anymore. So the type of person, when you're anointed as well, it's like, divine is very strategic in who they allow in your space and for how long. You might be able to date people for a season, a couple of weeks, you know, get to know somebody for a time, maybe even have sex one time, and then that's it. Like, it won't be anything anymore. You know, it's short-lived. Or God will constantly cause roadblocks to where nothing even picks up and off the grounds with some of these connections. That is your protection, because God can see that this person is not equipped to be in a connection or relationship with you. They'll either be a distraction to you. They got stuff on them that's not, you know, been handled, cleared, that will cause you to throw yourself off your path, get mixed and mingle with the favor that you have for your life. This person could take that from you or take you off path a little bit. Another whole thing in this as well is that this person, they're not even divinely yoked. Their path that they're walking doesn't even vibe with yours, in a sense where if you've been called to be a spiritual healer of some sort, or to speak to people, to motivate people, and this person is living a lifestyle that is completely contrary to that, this person can't speak life into you. They're not going to be able to really support what you do, because it goes against what they're doing, what they want to do in life. So they're either going to try to drag you down, or they're going to ridicule you for that same thing. It just doesn't work. So even if the person's talking that good game, a lot of times, like, it'll be a person that may be a good guy, good girl, whatever, good woman, but they're not for you. So you have to accept that that's okay. And sometimes it can get a little bit lonely. I do get that. It is a lonely, it can make you feel like, okay, why doesn't anything work? And it's because you've been set apart. You don't want to mix and mingle and blend with what everybody else is doing. People, that's a backwards way of thinking, where you think that you got to fit in with everybody. That it's like, you're called to be your own and to be different. Why do you want to be a type of person that is attached to all these different energies and molding and mixing and blending in with everyone? That's not what you were called to be. Yeah, the wheel of fortune, your destiny, your fate is much greater, much higher. You're about to reach a turning point in your life. It's inevitable. Whatever this turning point is, you're being called to a higher level in your spiritual purpose. You got to be willing and ready to expand. The Tower came out twice, because the Tower came out in the first spread. So there's something here where some of you guys might not be completely ready. May not be completely ready to change or to shift or come out of that path. Or some of you guys, you had to be shaken up in order to be ready for a transformation in your life. Be ready for change. Some of you guys might have been avoiding this. You might have still been in a karmic cycle, and Spirit was like, no ma'am, no sir. What you doing? 5 of Pentacles twice. Yeah. Some of you guys, it's a lack mentality, and Spirit may have had to break you out of it. Some of you guys might have been settling with someone, or you might have been tempted to settle, and Spirit caused some type of shakeup, or is about to cause a shakeup in someone's life to get them out of that same. Yep. You have King and Queen here. So for some of you, your counterpart is not far from you. You've been settling. Yeah, some of you guys are going through a dark night of the soul. You guys are experiencing some, it's like, in order to get you to this new beginning, this new chapter in your life, You got to let go of something. And I feel like you got to choose yourself. Yeah, you're still healing. So whatever didn't work out, it might have actually been something that you really wanted that did not work out. Or you're still healing from a past lover. Someone that you loved very deeply. Someone that you were deeply connected to. You felt like this was your person. For some of you, that connection did not work out. Yeah, you were trying to force this person to be something. Maybe this is not everybody's story, but this could have been something in the past or the recent past. Or maybe you're still doing this. You're trying to conform this person to be what you want them to be. You're trying to speak life into this person. You see some type of king in this person and you want them to be your king. But the thing is, this person that you see as a king, they're not your match though. They are divine masculine or divine feminine, but they're not your person. There's someone that's already meant for you. Again, it goes back to those cups. It's like, I can see all this potential. You got the Hermit technically twice. So there's like a double confirmation coming out with the Wheel, the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, telling you that it's something here about really seeking your purpose or your path. Some of you guys do have to redirect yourself, or the way that you're going to be able to see this clearly is you're going to have to go deep within yourself and not seek outside of self. Go within and ask God to reveal to you, what is my purpose? What is my calling? Who am I? Why is this happening? Why isn't this working? Because God is going to reveal to you why the doors have been shut on something. There's something about a mindset that you have that Spirit is trying to break you out of. You got to follow your inner guidance. The Emperor card, I feel like, is the divine, the most high here. You have strict rules here when it comes to when you're called. Like, I don't know, like people think it's cutesy and, oh, I'm a light worker. You have a certain standard. Like when you've been called to a certain position, people want to talk about, oh, they chosen and all of that. To be chosen, it comes with a high level of responsibility. Chosen is not something cute to say, oh, I'm special. I'm just a special person in a world full of just average, ordinary people that aren't special as me. That's narcissism. That's pride. That's vanity. That's not what chosen means. You've been chosen for something greater than yourself. You've been called for something greater than yourself and that of everybody else around you. Not because of you, but because of the divine. It's something that you have to, once you answer the call, you have to stand in that certain level of leadership and authority with rules. You can't just be out here doing anything, because there's consequences to that. Other people might get karma, but when you get karma, it hits you like a ton of bricks because you know better. God put a certain level of standard on you. So when you F up, it's like you get in some big trouble, because it's like you shouldn't have done that. You know better than that. I called you to be in a high position. It's like the oldest in the family, the oldest kid in the family. You got your siblings that's under the age of you, and you have certain rules in the house, other than them. Because you're older, you're more mature, right? Or at least you're supposed to be. So when you mess up, or the other kids do something, and the parents are going to look at you first, because they're like, wait a minute, you the oldest. What's going on up in here? That's kind of the energy of this. So certain things you know better. And some of these people that you're trying to date, unfortunately, they may be a little bit spiritually immature than you. They're not at that same level of consciousness as you. And that's not to say that where you lack, this person can't fulfill, and where they lack, you can't. But there's something that's completely off brand, like completely. The Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. You have 3 aces here, all but the Ace of Swords. So some of you have not gotten that mental breakthrough yet, that truth or that clarity yet. But Spirit is urging you to take the steps to lead towards your path. There's new opportunities and new doors that also want to open for you. You are called to be a pioneer. You're called to be a trailblazer. Your originality. You're an original person. You're not a carbon copy. You're not meant to conform. A lot of people, unfortunately, are conforming to trends. Even in the spiritual community, no one has their own authentic juice of flavor. Not no one, but I mean, some people have lost their authentic juice, their flavor. They want to be and talk like everybody else. You know, this is what spirituality looks like. So I got to wear crystals, and I got to wear this, and I got to dress like this. My hair has to be like this. And then you have the other side of things where everybody is getting the same type of look and surgery and wearing the same type of clothes, and nobody is their own authentic self anymore. Almost, you know, it's very rare to see that, and it's like, it's refreshing to see people that can be their authentic self. But nowadays it's like everybody wants to be a carbon copy, you know, of something else rather than themselves. So you are called to be original. You are meant to be a pioneer. You are meant to be a leader. You've been called to something greater and higher. And I feel like Spirit wants to bless you with new opportunities, new ventures, to get you through these doors that you're supposed to walk through. But you got to adhere to the calling of who you are, and who you date, who you marry. Unfortunately, for some of you that feel like this is a pain in the butt, you can't just date everybody. It's not going to work. It's just not. Until you align with your purpose and your path, and you open yourself up to everything in your life that the divine is called for you to have and meant for you, the things that you manifest that are in, when you manifest, you're manifesting from that place of co-creation with what the divine has in store for you. As what's her name, Esther Hicks, or Abraham Hicks, when she goes into that space, your vibrational escrow. Everything that is already ordained and meant for you is in that vibrational place. You just got to be in alignment with it vibrationally to receive it. You stop manifesting and aimlessly manifesting things that don't align with your truth. You're manifesting from trauma, from anger, from ego, from vanity, from confusion, from fear. When you start to manifest from a place of divine truth of who you are, what you've been called to, from a healed state of mind, from a place of self-love and knowing who you are called to be in God, it's a different thing. It's different. It's a different ball game, Spirit is saying. All right, so that's the reading, you guys. I'm sorry that we went all crazy like that and all these cards is all over the place. Anyway, but much love. And then you got the Seven of Cups beneath. The last card that was out was this. Yeah, dating little people that ain't even on the level yet. Nah. Yeah, no. All right, much love. Be blessed. Be safe. Peace.